video box go into full screen by clicking on the full screen icon here. Try it now and this video should get bigger and cover your whole screen. When the lesson starts, you will see all the steps for the lesson appear here. These are the steps you need to follow to create the project, and the teacher will guide you through each of these step by step. Though if you wish to go ahead and follow them yourself, that's no problem. You will normally be working with two tabs, one tab for the instructions and one tab for creating the code and your project. When you have completed a step, come back to the Instructions tab and click on this green Done button. You get an award and learning points for each step you complete. Under the video box, you will see what step the teacher is currently on. Under that, you will see the chat feed. The chat feed shows you how everyone is doing, and you can put your own entries into it by clicking on the blue chat button and entering your question or message. Or you can give a quick thumbs up or down, or even put in emojis by using the green React button. After the teacher has shown you how to do a step, click on the Exit Full Screen button to make the video go back small. Try it now. Okay, that's it for the instructions. We can't wait to see what you create. And remember, you can always come up with your own ideas and add them into your project. If you do want to share your project and your own ideas, you can do that using the purple button at the bottom of the lesson. We often show the best ones at the start of the next class. Okay, today's lesson is going to start in a few minutes, so strap in and get ready to code. Hey everyone, we'll be starting the live lesson shortly, but before we do, let's go over a few instructions on how live lessons work and how you can join in. First of all, let's talk about the teacher's video box. This is the video box that I'm in and that you're looking at right now. This is where the teacher will share their screen and show you what to do. When the teacher is showing you how to do something, you should make this video box go into full screen by clicking on the full screen icon here. Try it now and this video should get bigger and cover your whole screen. When the lesson starts, you will see all the steps for the lesson appear here. These are the steps you need to follow to create the project, and the teacher will guide you through each of these step by step. Though if you wish to go ahead and follow them yourself, that's no problem. You will normally be working with two tabs, one tab for the instructions and one tab for creating the code and your project. When you have completed a step, come back to the Instructions tab and click on this green Done button. You get an award and learning points for each step you complete. Under the video box, you will see what step the teacher is currently on. Under that, you will see the chat feed. The chat feed shows you how everyone is doing, and you can put your own entries into it by clicking on the blue chat button and entering your question or message.
Hey guys, sorry about that. There was a bit of an error. It's a bit of confusion. I was actually in next week's studio. So sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. We got it fixed in the end. We're all here. To make it up to you guys, we did fix a few things on the website. We got the lesson done step finished. So, you know, we give and take. Hey Business, hey Buffman, good to see you guys. Hey Real Gamer. This week we're going to be working on the target test. It's actually very similar to the one I was going to do next week, but it's perfect actually because we can edit this to make it very fitting for this time of the year. So we all know it's coming up to Halloween. So for the next few live lessons, I'm going to try and swerve our lessons towards a bit of a theme of Halloween and monsters and ghosts and all that kind of thing. But welcome to the lesson, guys. You should be able to click done when you complete a step. Now this lesson, I can see everyone in the chat just all doing their steps. Good to see. Right, guys, I'm going to share my screen. You probably saw the video before we started. If there's anyone new online, just let me know. If you haven't done this before, here's how it works. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to basically do this lesson step by step. You can either do it, watch my example, and then do it yourself, or if you want, you can just go through the steps yourself on the screen. It doesn't really matter if you want to go along yourself, but if you have any questions or you're stuck on any step, you can just drop me a message in the chat and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So we are working with MakeCode Arcade today, and I'm just going to share my screen so you guys can see. I'm going to say this on the video, but actually, if anyone has issues, it's not going to be the people to it's not going to be the people who can see me that have an issue with this. But if anyone can't see me, you need to click reload the page because we have the video uploaded properly now. So we are going to make a target test lesson. So in this lesson, we'll be creating a fun game in MakeCode Arcade. We'll be using a player sprite, moving it around, creating targets and shooting at them, and also scores. So there's the quick preview of what we're going to be doing. As we normally do, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to do this lesson, and we're going to go a little bit further. The people who've been on the live lessons for a long time are going to be super well able to go way further than this. So I'm expecting big things. So we're going to open a new project. So you need to go to MakeCode Arcade to open your new project. Once you do that, if you click on that link, or you can go to it in another window up here, whatever suits you. I'm going to open up a new one, and I'm going to call mine Target Test. Now, I recommend labeling your games very clearly because they get lost when you go looking for them. Later on, you might have trouble finding them. And you don't want that. So, something that hasn't been in action for a while, but it's back now, guys. When you finish a step, you can now click this done button, and you should get spooky Halloween stickers floating around the screen. I like that. It's cool. And that'll give you XP. It'll help your rating up here. See, everyone has a rating of how good of a coder they are, and people who've done more lessons will have more XP. Hey, Zimo Juno, good to see you online. So our next step, guys, actually, I can see who's done each step. So I can see who has finished each step. One person is. It's all good. Real Gamer's done that first step. Dr. Sigma's done that first step. Buffman, Business, Big Head Boy. Good to see people keeping that updated because it does help me know how fast to go or how slow to go. Obviously, that was a very slow first step. So our first step is to create our player. Now, you have a choice here. So our first choice of the day. When you're creating a player, you can, I'm just going to jump into my MakeCode Arcade. You have a choice. You can either pull out this first sprite. I'm just going to close down my other windows because my laptop is a little bit slow. You can either pick a sprite from the sprite gallery. So there's loads of sprites that you can use that belong to, that's my assets actually, is a sprite gallery. You can pick one of these sprites. Now these sprites all are free to use, so you can pick one you like. I'm going to pick one today. I'm going to pick this red space shooter one because it's exactly what I need for this lesson. If you want to design your own version, or if you'd like to customize this one, you can by using these colors along the left-hand side. So if you wanted to add a little bit of yellow to this, instead of the orange, you want a bit of a yellow look. You can always customize these things. Or if you wanted it more of a Halloween feel, you can use Halloween colors, black and orange. It's always good to know your color themes of your holidays. So purple, black, orange, those are always the good Halloween colors. I wouldn't go too heavy on the black because it might clash with your background. I might just change this to yellow as well. I might choose orange actually if we're going to keep the Halloween theme. So once you've done that, your sprite should appear when you reload your game. Your sprite will appear inside of it. Hopefully mine seems to be a bit laggy. You guys seem to do it really well. Who's Jane Test.com? I think that's one of our tester accounts. Big head boy. Or Real Gamers looking at it. So I'm going to finish that step. I have done it. I've got my lovely stickers. And now I can see who's doing these steps, guys. So if you want to make sure you click them done steps, make sure you're getting credit for all your hard work. And once your MakeCode Arcade loads, mine is taking its time today, you should get your red shooter on the screen. Mine doesn't really feel like it today. There we go. So I have my red shooter, but it doesn't do anything. It just sits in the middle of the screen. It's not the most entertaining game in the world, not by a long shot. So we're going to have to add a few more details. So we're going to add a little bit of movement to our sprite. Now we want this sprite to move across the bottom of the screen. That's how the game's going to work. So I can actually position them like there by going to sprites and setting the X and Y position. Now I can actually just set the Y position for this because I don't need to move the X. So all I'm going to do is set the Y velocity. Or set not velocity, set the Y. Set my sprite Y. So it starts off with X. I'm going to change that to Y. 2, 110. 110. And when you do that, your sprite will start along the bottom of the screen. It should do when it loads up. There we go, he's in the bottom of the screen. And we want to be able to move him with our buttons. So what we're going to do is we're going to move my sprite with buttons. And actually, we don't normally change this, so it's cool that we're doing this. We're going to grab out this move my sprite with buttons, but we're going to click that plus button there. So it comes out with a move my sprite with buttons, and there's a plus. We're going to click the plus, and I'm going to delete the VY. And what that means is, with the buttons of the Game Boy, the arcade machine, I can move left and right, but if I click up, nothing happens. So I can move along the Y-axis, but not along the X-axis. Sorry, opposite way around. I can move along the X-axis, but not along the Y-axis. So I can move left to right. And that's cool. And I go back in, and I make sure I click done. You get your spooky spiders. So check that works for you guys. Make sure that's the same for yourselves. Okay. So far, so good. Oh, there's Zimo Juno. Click complete on that step. Well done, guys. I'm sure there's a lot of people who have done that step who haven't clicked the button. I do understand that. Next thing we're going to do, guys, and again, here's a little bit of customizing you can do in your project. So it depends. It's completely up to you. We are going to create enemy sprites, target sprites, that we will shoot at. So you need to decide who the bad guy in your game is going to be. Is it going to be the same as ours, or is it going to be slightly different? So I'm going to start off doing the exact same as the Coding Ireland one, but you can draw and do some sort of Frankenstein monster or something like that. You could do, like, actually, I might do something slightly different to this. I might customize mine a little bit from this game. So we want another sprite. So on game update every 200 or 2000 milliseconds. So every 2 seconds. up to 2 seconds. On game update every 2 seconds, I want to introduce a new sprite. This sprite, I'm actually going to name him. I like to name my sprites because I think it just avoids trouble down the line. Oh, they already have that. So, shooter. And my sprite 2, I'm going to rename Monster. You don't have to rename them. If you don't, they'll just call themselves Sprite 1, Sprite 2, Sprite 3. But if you do name them, if you have an error in your project, it becomes way easier to find it because you can tell exactly who you're talking to. So this second sprite is going to be a sprite from the gallery I'm going to start off with, and I might draw. So this guy here, I think he looks real creepy and spooky. And I'm going to give him a bit of a makeover because he is going to be green. And you can decide to do this or not. It's only going to change the appearance of your game. It doesn't going to change any of the gameplay or any of the functionality of it. But it's cool to put your own version into a game, even if it is only just changing colors of characters. I think that's kind of cool. So that's his. Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to change some of the other stuff as well. Maybe just the green looks good. Let me have a look. Now, one thing you need to remember is that this is not a player in the game. We don't want this to be someone you can play as. We want him to be the bad guy. So we need to make sure we label him as the enemy. He is not our friend. Monsters are not your friends. And I'm going to say done. And you should have your shooter facing up towards the monster on the start of your game. Now you can move your shooter around. He's not much of a shooter actually at the minute because he can't shoot anything. But you can move him around underneath the bottom of the screen. And you can see the monster sitting there in the middle of the screen. Or your bad guy, or I call him a monster. You can call him whatever. And that is step 5. Oh, here we go. It's happening again. All these people who are very good at the start for clicking done on their steps forget to do it at the end. Ah, the real gamer, good man. Just as I was about to give out. Okay. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to program the bad guy so that he appears not just in the middle of the screen, he appears along the top of the game. Oh, thank you, Jim Juno. So we want to set, this is whatever the bad guy is, position to, and then randomly appear from this side, the left to right, along the top of the screen. So we're going to go into sprites. We're going to grab set, and right now it's set to shooter. I'm going to go to monster, shoot monster position from. Pick random. 0 to 160, I think, is the whole screen. Yeah, and Y0. So you'll see if you reload your game, your shooter is here, and every 2 seconds, a bad guy is going to appear somewhere along the top of your screen. Now, if they overlap, it'll just double up. But if you kept this running, you'll just have a top of the screen full of bad guys. And that kind of sets us up for our next step. And that is step 6 that I've just finished. So if you guys all want to get up as far as step 6, I'll move on when I see all the little emojis, not emojis, what are they called? Icons for all the different players in the game. Okay. So, moving on. Now, oh, sorry, we did that step. Sorry, we did step 6 actually. Now we want to go to step 7. So this is going to be programming our gun, our shooter, or whatever you want to call it, your player, to shoot fireballs or shoot whatever towards the top of the screen. Now, you can say we're going to program the A button to fire. Now, the handy thing about MakeCode Arcade is it knows that you're going to make games that have shooters and things like that. So what you can do is you can say on the controller button, you can say when the A button is pressed. So what happens when you press the A button? Well, when you click the A button, we are going to create what's called a projectile. And they come out here. They basically pre-program it for you. So you get to decide what projectile looks like. Now you can look here in the gallery. And you can shoot sprites if you want. You can shoot snakes. You can shoot sharks. I'm going to shoot these little roundy balls. Because... and make sure it comes out from here. It's X. And you're going to have to just change the velocity of it. We want it to go straight up in the air. So we want to say it goes 0x and it goes -100 for the velocity. So it doesn't just stay put. And when we reload our game, what we'll see is, oh, that's actually probably too big. That's a very big, but I might change my projectile actually to something smaller. That's maybe a little bit much. Yeah, maybe this smaller one here. It's maybe a bit more appropriate for the size of the cannon on my guy. Yeah, that's probably more like it. So now I can bring him left and right. That looks more like what he would shoot. Pew 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 pew. Now, business says 67, 67, 67, 67. I've heard this 67 a lot recently. And I still don't really understand what it means or why it's funny. But hey, there we go. Dr. Sigma's joining in. And we have just done step 7. I assume that's what triggered this. 6, 7. Yes. Very good. It's nice to have this game, and I forget which button. Oh, you can use Z for whatever reason. I think it's so you can like play the game with just your keyboard. But if you're on a laptop, you can instead of using your mouse and doing this, because you can only obviously do one of those at a time, you can use the arrow keys to move left and right, and you can move A and B, R, Z, and Y on my keyboard. I think they might also be Q and E. So you can control at the same time lots of places on your keyboard. But if you go left and right, obviously it stays put. And I'm already having fun. We haven't even coded the full game. So our next step is that we need to make some consequence when we hit the bad guys. So if we hit the bad guy, what happens? And we want to say if a sprite of kind projectile overlaps with other sprite of kind enemy. So that's a fancy way to say if the bullet hits the monster or the fireball hits the monster, and that's up in sprites. It's in overlaps. So if sprite of kind projectile overlaps other sprite of kind enemy. So what happens when the two, collide? What happens when they come together? Well, we're going to destroy the other sprite with fire effect. So very, very dramatic. We're going to sprites again. Actually, it just says destroy my sprite. You need to pull that out. It'll sometimes change that. Destroy. Well, what do we want to be destroyed by it? We would like the bad guy. I'm going to grab this other sprite thing and just pop it in here. So you can grab the other sprite and it kind of like duplicates itself. So destroy other sprites, and you can get creative with this. There's different effects that'll pop up. So I'm using like a fireball. So I'm going to use fire. Now, half a second is probably too much. 200 milliseconds is probably plenty. But you can also do something. You do something like bubbles or Starfield or clouds or something like that. So maybe something a little bit less violent if that's what you would like to do. And just to give that a little bit of a playthrough, if I was playing this game myself, you could see if you could hit the bad guys. I'm not very good at hitting the bad guys. There you go. Pew pew. So you see we're flying out, we're killing all these bad guys. I am an expert. Now, right now, I'm playing on cheat mode because the bad guys are along the top of the screen and they can't shoot back at me. So I am kind of cheating. So what I will do is I will make sure that I click done. Like I'm always asking you. Buffman, I'm going to have a look at that. He says, I know this is spelled bad. Please forgive me. Target practice. This isn't a spelling test, Buffman. I'm not here to give out to you about your spelling. You could spell it any way you want. It wouldn't make a difference to me. Now let's. Oh my. You're right. Automatically shoots. I feel like I'm not doing the overlaps, Buffman. I feel like I'm missing the impact. Now maybe it was lagging on my side. It seemed to be lagging a small bit, so maybe that was it. Because you do have this. Here. You need to put instead of. Oh no, that should work for you. I don't know why it isn't. Do you have that labeled as an enemy? You do. Maybe it was just lagging on my end. I like the way you added a song to it. I wonder, can you make it more Halloween-y, Buffman? So what I'm going to do next, guys, I've done that step. I'm going to go down to the next one. So this is that I score. That I score a point, right? So this game actually stops at a point, and we're going to go further, right? So we are all at a level where, this is easy mode. And then that all they want you to say is if you hit the bad guys, you get a point. So change score by 1. And that's the game that we have in Coding Ireland, right? That's as far as we go up to step 9. Now, and it is pretty fun. I didn't think it would be as fun as it was because it is pretty fun just to go pew, 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 pew. and every time you shoot one, you get a point. But it doesn't have a whole lot of danger to it. So I'm going to go a few steps further than the tutorial goes, because I think it'd be more fun of a game if the bad guys were coming down on top of you. They were like landing down on top of you, and you had to like avoid them. And if they hit you, you maybe like, they would get you in big trouble. So I'm going to add that to my game. Now, this is completely optional. If you're happy with your game as it is, you don't have to do this. But if you want to improve your game a small bit, you follow me. So right now, we've only got like 4 actual blocks of code. So I'm going to add a few more. So I think I need to go back up here to where I had the bad guys appearing. So with this little code here where we said if every 2 seconds that the bad guys appear along the top of the screen. So I'm going to give that a bit more room. Now I'm going to go back to it. Now I want to change the velocity of the monster. So I'm going to change that to monster. So set, actually I can get rid of that one. I can actually use a slightly different piece of code, which is set sprite x to 0. So I'm going to set monster vy to, let's say 10. I'm not sure how fast that's going to be. Let's see. Okay, that's how fast v10 is. Actually, do you know what? Instead of having a set number, let's include a random one here. So will we say maybe 10, or I'm going to go maybe 7 to 15, something like that. Now let's see how fast that is. It's all about trialing things out and seeing how fast you can go with them. So it's already a little bit more fast paced because you've got bad guys, appearing across the screen. That's already a bit cooler. And it doesn't seem to be that fast, to be fair. Maybe I can go like 10 to 20. I want some of them to go fast because that kind of creates a bit of urgency in the game. Now, if you wanted to increase that, you could say like 0 to 50, and some of them are going to fly down really fast. Or 10 to 50. Let's try 50. I'm just about feeling it out, guys. I have no idea. We're going to figure it out together. Oh, that's fast. And if you wanted to, you could make it like not every 2 seconds, it could be every second. And then suddenly the game is very intense. Now, here's where I'm going to get a little bit creative with it. So right now I can bang into the ghosts. Nothing happens. So what I want to say is basically the same as this. If a sprite of kind something overlaps other sprite of kind something. So I'm going to add a little bit to it. I'm going to go back in. I'm actually going to pause this because I always find it really distracting when my games thing. Just check if there's any questions coming into me. I will look at yours, Zimogino, in a second, just while I show this. So I'm saying if a player overlaps an enemy, so if I hit one of the ghosts, what happens? I'm going to lose a life. Now I have 0 lives at the start of the game. I need to go back to the very beginning. And I need to set my lives. So I'm going to go back to here on the on start section. Now what that means is you'll have little hearts at the top. You'll see now. Yeah, so you have a little hearts up top. Let's just check that. If I get hit by one of the ghosts, what happens? Yeah. Ooh. Oh, I need to say destroy the sprite. So destroy. Because right now, like, he overlaps for more than like 1 second. So he just assumes the game is over. So destroy the other sprite. Oh, maybe that's the issue is. My computer was a bit laggy there for a while. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe it was just running low on battery. So I'm going to say disintegrate effect. So if I get hit with the ghost by now, yeah, I lose 1 life and the ghost disappears. And then I get game over and I lose. So if you guys want to do that, you're more than welcome. I'm just going to have a look at, this is from Zimo Juno. He has burgers. The burgers do seem indestructible. All right, you have a few errors here. Well, not errors, you have a few bugs in your code. And what I think is the issue is that your burgers are huge and they are not being destroyed when you shoot them. So look at your code. When the sprite of kind projectile overlaps other sprite of kind enemy, you have written destroy sprite 2. And it should be other sprite. So grab that other sprite and drop him here. That's going to make the game a little bit better for you. Have a look at this. This is your game on the screen. Now it goes away rather than just building up. You have burgers piling up all over the screen. See, now it actually disappears and it's a little bit better. I like the whole shooting a shark thing. I think that's cool. It maybe is, it could be a little bit more logical in that I don't know if sharks eat hamburgers. So maybe you're shooting sharks at something else that makes it a little more sense. But same game, I like it. Music and Julie Jumper business to show me. I'm not sure if this is even going to be the same game. I'm not 100% sure about the dynamics of the game. Real gamer, let me see yours. Oh, cool intro screen. Oh, the background. Okay, let me see. New best score, right? You've got like a massive, like a timer. Do I have to hit every like 2 seconds? You have this bit of code here confused me. If score equals 10, then you win. So I have to hit 10 of them to win. But you also have a countdown in here that's really stopping me from when as soon as I shoot, it's 2 seconds and then I lose. So I don't know if you're trying to catch me out here, but it worked. You'd annoy a lot of people with that game. Oh my god, that's not gonna be able to work for me. Master comments after downloading. Just one thing I would add to my one, if I was going to keep going with it, if I want to keep improving it, I would make it so that if any of my ghosts reach the ground, I lose a life. And how you would do that is you can do it a few different ways. I would say one of the fastest would be to say, if I'm going to move my shooter up by very slightly, 105. So restart the game. Now you see he's kind of floating. So I'm going to add a sprite, or I'm going to actually add a layer in the background. So you go to scene, you say set background image to, And this is our background. So like we can see our whole thing here. Now there is preloaded ones you can use. Now is there a Happy Halloween one? There is a Happy Halloween one, but it might be a bit too much going on. So what you can do is you can, I can't tell if it's super zoomed in or not. Can't see what that is. Mine seems to be stuck for some reason. But if you pick a background, let's say, this spooky. Okay, I'm super zoomed out. That's why the issue is. Right, I'm gonna completely white all or completely black all of this out. There's a lot of detail in this. I'm always sorry to get rid of it. That's actually gonna take me forever. Can I just do a big? Let's do a circle. Can I just cover it all in black? No, I can't. That'll make me color it all in. That would take forever. But if you wanted to get a gallery, let's say, if you wanted to pick one that wouldn't take as long, let's say go to your planet Earth. I want it all black. I'm destroying the world. That would be a cool background, actually. Just have all this going on. Bam, bam, bam. Now, what I want to do is add a red line just along the bottom of the screen. Now, what this is going to do is, when my game loads, you'll see a red line. It's actually a cool background. And I could say, listen, if the thing overlaps, maybe thinking about it, I'm thinking into Scratch. Could I do it this way? This is how I do it in Scratch, but maybe I'll have to go about it differently in MakeCode Arcade. Maybe that'll have to be a sprite. Or maybe I don't need to do it right now. You know that camera shakes? Always nice to add those kind of effects to games, like when you get hit with a sprite. You know? Oh, here we go. We can use this. We can say if I'm gonna go back and find the same sprite. Oh, there, I'll fit in there. Anyway, oh, you can get it here. So if I can actually get rid of the overlap, it's actually not an overlap. You can grab this out from game, probably. What is it? So on start, right? So if on start the monster is hitting the bottom, then you can also say lose a life. And that doesn't like to work. Why doesn't it? Attaches to a block to work. That's right. So I'm going to actually put it in here. Okay, that seems to work. Now let's just test that out, see if it works. Oh, I got hit. No, it doesn't seem to be. All right, I might have to leave that now. I thought that would work. Anyway, we'll leave it for now. People are. I'll try master column. Let me have a look. Undertale Kara end fight system. Interesting name. I got control of the shooting. Jersey building up. You got like a limit on the amount of bullets I can shoot here, I wonder. The melody was cool. Oh, right. I can only shoot until that is done. Okay. Let's go. I like the soundtrack's really cool. Good game with hearts. I don't play on that. I don't know Undertale either. Looks cool. Right, we'll finish up with a blue kit, guys. I'll give the people what they want. We've only got 15 minutes, so we'll probably only get 1 or 2 games into it. Oh, a spooky pack. Spooktober has arrived. Spooktober, they're calling it. Seasons and holidays of fall. Oh. Ah, yeah, we'll do. This is a Halloween kind of quiz. Very much light Halloween questions, probably ones you already know. We'll go for a battle royale to start off. So I'm going to go for battle royale. We'll do it individually. It is 767332. I won't do tower defense. I just don't know how long I'll get time-wise to do a tower defense. Whereas battle royale means everyone gets to do a few games. There's the buff stick. Big head boy. I wonder you regretting that name. Okay. Joe business. None of Joe business. A few more people to join. Just gonna give 2 or 3 more minutes to share my project. I can make it work. Oh, I love that. People fixing my work. I love to hear it. What? Links to this game are not allowed. What? I don't do that. That would work. Maybe because I'm not signed in. I can't sign in. Now, if anyone wants to fix my code, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to start this game up. 5 players. So it's a one for all battle royale. Does Halloween and Dia de los Muertos have the same meaning? Ooh. No, they do not. They're on the same day, but Halloween means Hallows Eve, and Dia de los Muertos means the Day of the Dead. So I suppose that was a bit of a trick question. That they are on the same day, they are the same kind of celebration, but slightly different. Hard to know. Diwali is a popular festival and celebration for what country at this time of year? It is India. It's the festival of color where they throw like this flower, it's colored flower at each other. It's cool. Okay, next question. In what century was Halloween first introduced? Oh, that's a good question. Is it the 18th, 19th, 21st, or 19th? It was the 19th century. A lot of people said the 18th century. That's interesting. So the 1800s, it would have been. Okay, Dia de los Muertos is a very serious and somber holiday, meaning there's no fun. No one's allowed to smile or laugh or have fun. No, it is not. It is actually very fun, and it's a big celebration. These are very hard questions, I'll be honest with you. Okay. The largest Diwali celebration outside of India takes place in what British city? Oh my god. I'd imagine London. It's Leicester. God almighty. I didn't think it'd be Leicester now. These are really tough questions. I thought they'd be like, who is a famous vampire? But they're very much everywhere. Where did real mummies originate? Ancient Egypt. Okay, I would have guessed. I thought they were trying to trick me there. I thought it was a trick question. But no, ancient Egypt. We all got that right. Okay, down to 4. What country does Halloween originate from? Hint, you live there. Ireland. Apparently. Which is cool. Okay. Which of the following is not made as part of the traditional Dia de los Muertos festivities? Sugar skulls, handmade paper flowers, chocolate bats, or dead bread? I know dead bread is part of it, so don't vote for that one. I'd say maybe chocolate bats. That'd be a guess. Oh, and a good guess. Now we're really on 3 players left. Probably one out now. Down to 3. Oh, is it down to? Yeah, down to 3. 2 players left, so only, and this is the last life. So now we'll play one more game, and then we'll leave for the night. Which of the following is symbolism of Diwali? I could not tell you. Probably good over evil. Yeah, but who got it right? Victory for Real Gamer, and he's doing this, and I bet you he hasn't fixed my game. All right, I'm going to do one more Bluebeat game, and then we're going to call it a night, guys. We will do a different quiz. I didn't love that quiz, actually. I thought it'd be about, like, spooky monsters. It was not. Or we could go Taylor Swift. I'm sure there'll be lots of people into Taylor Swift. Oh, this could be good. Now, it might be a little bit American, but it's about sweets. Maybe next week. There's the classic ones down here that never really change. Yeah, we'll go for the sweet one. So it's an American quiz. So there's gonna be some sweets on here that we don't really know. We don't really have at home. But do your best. Let's go for a solo race. 919094. Not Taylor Swift, says so much, Not a fan. Now, here we go. We got 4. Are you ready? Let's go. The 30 gets the win. Okay, an early lead taken by Zimo Juno. He's out in front. And we're getting there. Ooh, lead taken by Real Gamer. He's going for 2 in a row. Real Gamer still out in front, but very closely behind this big head boy in Zimo Juno. Ooh, big lead jumped up by Job Best now. He's business. Business out in front. He could be out about to take it. Whereas a big, that's 3 or 4 people could win this, yeah. Oh, Beezus just pulled back. Real Gamer and Beezus neck and neck going into the last few questions. Oh no. Zimo Juno, Real Gamer. Job Beast now. Number 1. All right, guys, that's going to be our quiz for the week. That's going to be our project for the week. I hope you enjoy your shooter game. If anyone can figure mine out, so that if they go to the bottom of the screen, they lose a life, please have a go with it. But until then, I'll see you next week and have a great week. See you guys.